9 reasons why The Batman is great. I've actually been meaning to make this video for quite some time, but I feel like after the ending of the Penguin TV show, it's more than appropriate to make this video right here, right now.
Come on! Get me down!
Shut up. I should have let them play Pinata, bitch. Starting the list off at number 9, Batman destroying that one gang member. Now, watching the scene in the movie is all great. It's as good as you would expect. But do you remember all of our reactions? Your reaction when you saw that very first trailer and they showed us this scene where this gang member wearing the white makeup and he's questioning Batman. What is he supposed to be? And what does Batman do? He beats the fuck out of this guy. Just breaks his arm, repeatedly punching him in the face. And it's the sound the punches are making. It's as rough as Batman looks doing so. It's also those last couple punches that he gets when the guy's already knocked out that makes it look oh so brutal. And the look on the other members of the faces of the gangs that just makes me laugh and love this so much. At number 8, the Nirvana song, Something in the Way. One of those songs that I was always sort of aware of, and I always did like to a certain extent, but I feel like this movie made me appreciate it on a different level. Now when I hear the song, I think Batman, I think of the vibe and the tone that this movie was going for, and I think this song, not only for the trailer, but it's actually in the movie as well. Not every trailer song makes the final film, and this one I thought was a great choice. Also, the score. I'm going to lump this in all together. The score by Michael Giacchino. My God, how do you top some of the previous Batman scores and themes that have come from before? And I'm not saying this tops it, but this main Batman theme is so iconic already. It's already memorable and differentiates this Batman from other Batmans. It makes him sound more vicious and brutal, and I think it encapsulates what Matt Reeves was going for with this particular Batman. Number 7, no origin. Sort of. I mean, sure, maybe we get into a little bit of the origin, or at least as far as Bruce Wayne's parents and as far as stuff that has happened to them. And this Batman, yes, is very young in his career. I believe this is his second or so year being Batman, but we don't get flashbacks of the murder of the parents. We don't see the pearls. We don't go through those same tired scenes of Batman's origin that, granted, are crucial and are important to the character. But by now, we've been there, done that so many times that I feel like we never have to see those scenes ever again. And I'm pretty sure most people are going to understand what's going on. Also, the little hint of ideas that Thomas Wayne, Bruce Wayne's father, potentially being corrupt. I thought that was interesting. You could argue that they don't fully commit and go full force with it. Number 6, Paul Dano as the Riddler. When Paul Dano was announced and cast as the Riddler, I instantly thought, yes, that makes all the sense in the world. Paul Dano usually gets cast as the smarmy, slimy, weaselly type characters, villain type characters in most things that I see him in, so I could picture it. But then when I saw what they were going for, the different look of the Riddler, the mask and the dark and jigsaw-like tone that he brought with him when he would capture his victims and put them through messed up situations, videotaping them and putting them through more traps than riddles. He had riddles, but it was more about torturing the people that he thought deserved it. And I also love the fact that after that scene in Arkham when Batman talks to the Riddler, that meme has come out of whether or not Paul Dano's character knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. The back and forth in that scene of even Batman doesn't know for sure if Riddler knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman. It's just such good stuff. Number 5, Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Hot damn. When I first saw the picture and the images of the Penguin, I could not believe that that was somebody under makeup. This is possibly the best makeup effects I have ever seen, ever. It doesn't look like Colin Farrell. You would never get me to believe it's Colin Farrell unless I saw the actual footage of him getting the makeup applied to him. And he also did such a great job acting wise, and I loved seeing him run the Iceberg Lounge. This is something that legit, you could probably find the videos on my channel of me begging to see this version of the Penguin, the actual crime lord or the crime boss type Penguin, even in his early stage where he's clearly working underneath Carmine Falcone and he's trying to get to the next level. He's trying to take over. And I think after the TV show, we all have a greater appreciation of not only Colin Farrell, but of the Penguin character as well. Number 4, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon. Here is a performance by an actor of this caliber that was so good as Commissioner Gordon, that had such a great dynamic in relationship with Batman in this movie, that I don't think I saw one person complain that the race was changed with this actor. And I know normally it shouldn't even be an issue, it shouldn't even be a thing to talk about, and sometimes it bothers me and sometimes it doesn't. I guess it just depends on the character. But for whatever reason, even though I have my image in my head of what Gordon usually looks like or usually is like, Jeffrey Wright is such a great actor, and he sort of delivers that next level performance of somebody that is relatable, that is just trying to do the best. I love that he looks at his police department and just doesn't know who to trust. Batman's really the only guy that he's able to trust, and he brings him in to investigate every crime scene. That one scene when all the police don't trust Batman and sort of gang up against him, and Jeffrey Wright's the only person who can separate Batman, save Batman from the other cops. Number 3, Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman. This is a casting that initially I was like, oh, because it wasn't like I was against it. It wasn't like I hated it, but I just probably never thought of this actress actually being able to pull a character like this off. Selena Kyle is a very tough character to play, somebody that you're supposed to like and be sympathetic with, but also at the same time, she's bad and she does bad criminal like things. Now, granted, this is very early in Selena Kyle's career or very early in her life, so she's not a full-fledged villain just yet. It feels like she has room to get to where we all know for her to go. But I like that in this movie, we see her younger. We see her have way more of her own vendetta, her own personal issues, trying to save her roommate. But also, when she finds out who her father is, it's a whole nother can of worms. Number 2, Robert Pattinson as Batman. I think Robert Pattinson knocked it out of the park. For all of the jokes, the many jokes, for all the people that haven't watched any Robert Pattinson movies other than Twilight, who were calling him the sparkling vampire Batman, the Edward Batman, it almost seemed like he was too much in the shadow of those teen type romance movies that would he ever even be given a chance? Would he ever be taken serious? But I thought he brought that brooding and unhinged, crazy like factor. I love that this guy, because he's younger in his career, because he hasn't fully sort of embraced the balance of the good and evil, he's just almost pure knight. But I also like that he clearly has room to grow. I like that there is a place for his character to go, so he's not just maybe one and the same throughout the entire of however many movies they decide to make with this character. Number 1, the best thing about this film, I think it's pretty obvious. It's Matt Reeves' direction and his writing. Because in order to follow up Christopher Nolan and the Christian Bale Dark Knight movies, I think it's a tall order, it's a tough task, and especially if you're going for the dark and gritty, realistic approach that was also with the Nolan films. I feel like Matt Reeves doubled down on the grittiness, doubled down on the dark tone and the realism of it. I mean, we could debate whether or not the Nolan movies are actually more realistic than the Reeves Batman. I would probably actually side with The Dark Knight being more realistic. But I like that Reeves is sort of trying to push this type of film, the darkness, the grittiness, and maybe he will push it even more. Maybe he will eventually dip into the more comic bookiness that Batman's villains can bring. But this was step one. This was film one. And I think the tone is the number one thing that Reeves probably wanted to convey, wanted to get across. The more crime noir, crime detective aspect of it. I have been asking for years for a serious crime detective Batman film. I remember the very first time I saw Seven, I said to myself, why don't they make a movie like this, but with Batman? And it seemed like I was never going to get it. It seemed like it was just something that the studio maybe just wanted more action. And obviously we weren't going to get that with the Zack Snyder, Ben Affleck movies. And then this film came out and I said, fuck, yes, finally, yes. Batman being more of a detective, having a villain that's more of a Zodiac type killer. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you think not only of my 9 reasons why the Batman is great, but what are some of your reasons why you enjoy this film, or fuck it, dislike this movie. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.